Wavy.
Yeah. Yeah. When we talk about the gender, we'll be talking about the both side. Everything around me is playing like a game, so side. Everybody is silent when the wrong thing's going the way. When we stand up strong, when we put the consideration always. Everybody's watching but never take a step. Why? Tears are rolling. I'm crying and I got a big wound inside. And I'm wondering who's gonna heal me from this pain. I just wanna have a little peace in me. And I don't know who will be there to heal this deep pain inside of me. Yes, I'm falling all apart. I don't really know if it's true. Everybody's playing their games on the way. Yeah. No. Yeah. And a big daddy will go give. Like in Kulumarana Biwaga. I don't know when am I going to be on myself together. But I'm grateful that we're all now trying so hard to push ourselves together. Put out the consideration that we are fighting, trying to build ourselves to a better type of we are. Oh yes, we're trying oh so hard to wipe out the bad old tears. Back in the days it was something so painful. I don't really know who is gonna wipe them tears away. Cause I'm trying oh so hard, I'm screaming loud. But it's like there's nobody listening to me. There is nobody, but I will try so hard, work so hard, and I will always be standing so strong and firm. Yes, I know it's hard, but I will just try so hard, work so hard. Trust me, I will, and every day is a new day to strive and be a better part of me. Better part of me. Tell me who's gonna wipe all my tears away. But it seems like nobody's watching. I will stand. I will stand.
Hello, this is Gender Talk 211. With our amazing Monica, one and only. We always want to encourage our female artists to bring out the passion in us. So hello South Sudan, this is Gender Talk 211. We have a lot of blessing in the house. We have a mother, we have a sister, and we are so honored to have them. So I'm going to give this chance so that they introduce themselves.
My name is Ambassador Sitona Abdalla Osman. I am Director General of International Cooperation, and I am a human rights activist.
A very good evening to you all. My name is Ayen Mabek Lang. I am the East African Community Deputy Youth Ambassador to South Sudan. It's an honor to be here today.
You guys are all welcome, our guests, and for today I'll be sitting for Ava because she's not feeling unwell. But as today we're going to be celebrating International Day of Women in Diplomacy, as they mentioned and introduced themselves already. We do have Her Excellency Ambassador Sitona Abdalla and Ayen Mabek, a diplomat and East Africa Community Deputy Youth Ambassador. And my first question will be going to Ambassador Sitona. Being a South Sudanese legend in the SPLM days and as well a woman within the books of history, tell us about your journey in diplomacy till date from the time you started.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate your question, and really our journey starts with our movement about women in diplomacy, because we have many tools we used in during the liberation, and the tools of lobby and advocacy is one tool of diplomacy we have used. So we can also we have used the tool of arts, as you are just doing now. We have that tools also, and we have tool of engagement and networking, and that is where really we have started our diplomacy since 1985. But a real diplomacy also started when we have already got our independence, or we have signed the peace agreement in 2005, where also in the agreement they said that at least 35% or I don't remember, but it's around some figures that it has to be also join the civil society of Sudan at that time, and part of that they take some people, many of us actually, to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We joined the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That is in 2007, and after that many of us, they became an ambassador, and also they became ambassador and head of missions, and also some of us the deputy head of missions, some are diplomat. Like for me, in 2008 I became an ambassador of deputy head of mission of Sudan to the Vienna, Austria. So, and I stayed there like 3 years, 5 years, and after that I became also a former now ambassador to Germany after the independence. So we have a long experience in diplomacy and in as a woman in diplomacy, and that is how it's our journey started, and this is where we are now. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So that was Ambassador talking, and for us, some of us have been, seeing her on newspapers. We never got a chance to talk to her.
Actually, I to see her today.
So please let us use this opportunity, life opportunity for us, and it's a learning, it's a learning process, and it's so much inspiring. So thank you so much for that brief. As we move on, we also have Ayen. Miss Ayen, a very resourceful person with us today. We wanted to know how she can also motivate us, many of us who are young people, ambitious, and wishing to do a lot of things. So Ayen is a leader, and we wanted to know what was that process like as a young person taking such, taking such a very legal, I could say, title. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. First and foremost, I would love to encourage every youth out there to not only sit down, but to look out there, look beyond the country. It's not all about South Sudan. It's not all about East Africa, and it's also not only about Africa. How I became a deputy ambassador, I would love to give way how it all happened. So, social media is poorly used in South Sudan, but it's supposed to be positively used. There are links outside there that are not only for scammers, but if you click them and read thoroughly and research about them, you really find out that these links actually are beneficial. So the EAC, which is the East African Community Youth Ambassadors Platform, is an annual event. It encourages youth to apply and qualify. So this is something that happens every year. 6 candidates, every country of the EAC are picked, taken to a specific country, compete through debate. You're not just appointed, you just don't wake up and you're given it. Yeah. You compete through debate. Then 2 people are elected, the ambassador and his or her deputy. The 4 other people remain as the members of the platform. So now, the question is, what do we come back with when we come back to our countries? Not only being exposed as a youth, but it is very important in a way that we get knowledge, we network, we also develop on our capacity. So the EAC is very happy to attract any youth of South Sudan to apply for it. My ambassador and I are the first cohort of the country, and because we were not part of East Africa, that's not the reason, because people think so. It's because we are not exposed. We never got the chance to take the advantage of it. We've been there for more than 5 years now, but then here we are. We are here to open way, to create awareness and sensitize other youth to join in. There are a lot of opportunity outside there. Like Ambassador said earlier, she had a term, but right now she's all seated. She's seated back. It doesn't avoid her or stop her from knowing people outside. You remain with the network. This is something that you die with. You create your own network. You get exposed. It's not all about traveling, but you also gather knowledge together. And I urge every youth to do that. Thank you.
It's an important point that she's making. Gathering knowledge and using our phones for it.
Of course, because like of late, I have seen youth, like whatever they go to social media, they use to post pictures, go to Instagram, do TikTok. But it was, I think, to share. Ambassador knows it very well as well. But for Ayen, she was so smart that she used that platform to use it in her own achievement. Yeah. Now this gets to me, to you, Ambassador Sitona. Yes. Like in that very time, of course, there's this slogan, Nasawin itakom marasakit. How did you go through all that? Because like that time, I feel like now our generation is a little bit flexible with the gender. They're not so hard on the women. Now, like I can say, we are open-minded. People are starting to be open-minded. But back in the days, I feel like it was a little bit hard for women to be in such position. How was it? How was it in your shoes by then?
Maybe also to add on, not just being a woman, but also as an African experience and a South Sudanese experience.
Yeah. You are right, my daughter, that, there is some words that really discourage you from what you are. But there is one thing I believe on it. When you know whom you are and committed to what you want to do and committed to let other people respect you of what you are doing, because you are doing it right, you will never think about negative connotation of other people. So when they tell you you are marathakit because they want to destroy you, they don't want you to get up. They said that it means your place at home. But the movement, it is really that gave us a platform, and good platform, because when you have a good leader, you will be also good. So they gave us a good platform where we really came by ourselves to work for ourselves, to show ourselves. No one showed us the way, but we leaders, few leaders who showed the way for others. Because of that, you can see at that time we have some organization like called Sudanese Women Voice for Peace. So it is a voice for others who don't have voiceless, the voiceless people. So we have many other organizations at that time, women rights organization, Widows Orphan Organization, and we work as also for the Sudanese Women Association, New Sudan Women Association actually, at that time, what they call it, Women Association. So in our work during that time, we really presented ourselves well. That is what showed the others who really want to destroy us and to put us back at home, to show them that we can do things better than what they do. And that is where really our leader believed on us. We talked and we changed the narrative. You know, when even in the movement at the beginning, all the language they know, it is he and he and he. We changed that narrative from he to she. Even just recently, one time we have a celebration, and somebody from the office of the president, he said in the document, at that time, I think when we have the first constitution, he said he forgot to write he and she. The president returned it back to him and said, no, I don't want any problem with the woman. Please go and write he and she. And he wrote it.
Yes.
So it means we really change the mind of people with the way we do our things, the way we conduct it, how other people have to respect us.
For you, Ayen, like, what was that discouraging moment that you have ever faced while being in this journey?
Yes, I can clearly remember. Okay, so South Sudan has always been taken as the youngest country in the world, which is not actually right, because you can actually be young, but that doesn't mean that you know nothing completely. So out there, South Sudanese are facing a lot out there. So we happened to be in a conference hall, and then we be stepped on. You mean South Sudanese can do this? Wow, South Sudanese can speak it. You speak English? This is good. Where did you grow up? These are things you get, these are things they ask you. Why would you be undermined to the extent that you cannot compete with the Kenyan, you cannot compete with the Ugandan, or any other member of a non-South Sudanese? So these people always undermine us, not until we prove them wrong, that we can actually do exactly or far better than they can do. Yeah, we get undermined out there.
Yeah, I just want to go back to my mother. Let me address her that way. She mentioned something, because in the field of studies, in terms of opportunities being rendered, there is also sense of gender.
Yeah.
And also, when you do gender analysis or maybe gender studies, sometimes they would say women can make good diplomats because they are negotiators. I don't know what's your thought about that.
بالذات نبدا من السوق، انت تمشي السوق ده تشتري طماطم في نقاش
negotiate.
قروش كثير نقص ده وجيب ذاك like في جرحان الحكايه ده من السوق. لكن what is that the other phase in the diplomat one?
No, in the diplomacy also, one part of the diplomacy is the negotiation.
Yes.
You have to be a negotiator, and you have to be a mediator, because if you don't negotiate, you cannot mediate. So you have to negotiate and to mediate, and that is what made diplomacy, you know, because diplomacy is all about negotiation, not confrontation. So because of that, yes, even when we have our drafting of Universal Declaration for Human Rights, the first thing that brought that, the women who negotiate to bring that resolution. And from there also the women themselves, that they wrote the resolution of the day we are commemoration today, the International Day for Women in Diplomacy. It is negotiated by the women. And because of that, they have the resolution, and the resolution adopted by the United Nations. And because of that, today, it is on the 24th, but today is 22nd, but that is the occasion. On the 24th, we are celebrating the women in international women in diplomacy, because diplomacy is about negotiation. Thank you.
Yeah, you can add on that.
Well, to my own best of understanding.
Are you a good negotiator?
Yeah, I am. I am, because if you do anything related to business, then you must negotiate in your interest. Yeah. Based on gender, people have misunderstood the word gender in several ways. They be like gender, I don't know what they understand by the word gender, but gender is just, it's something so simple that can relate to anyone. Can be a man, or can be female or can be male. But then I do not know why women are best or are known outside. Like if I want to deal with Jackie, and then my brother would rather send me to her or to him. I do not know. I don't know the natural perception about that. But they will always prefer women. The way they represent themselves, the way they address problems, the way they approach the action. It's way different from how a male would do that. So I think it's something natural that women can talk best.
Okay. All right, that's interesting.
Yeah, let me add a little bit on this one, actually.
Okay.
Because from reality, you know, we have a forum. And in that forum, they are men. All of them, they are men, you know. And now in that forum, when they put ideas, when you want to discuss with them the ideas, you bring a new ideas, nobody will answer your ideas, but they will go to their own ideas because it is just about politics. They ignore the women that they bring a new idea. Although it is a beautiful idea, they cannot even think about it. But when it comes from women, they will really fear and they will not discuss it.
Okay. For you, Ayen, like, how do you see yourself in future in this very film?
But I also feel before you get there, that will be the next questions. Like when growing up from a very young age, what was that for you until this time now? Were you having some feelings like, because sometimes they always say when you grow up, you'll see that maybe a female child will begin behaving in a certain way and they grow up, there are things that they love and that shape their careers and ways of, you know, doing things and what they wish to become. Did you have some sense of experience, like, when growing up and then up to here?
Well, personally, I didn't experience any limitations from where I come from. But then there are a lot of people that have reached out to me, that have witnessed, that have seen, that have gone through this. I think we are dwelling around gender. Gender is just simply characteristics for men, women, girls, and boys that are socially constructed. These are things the society believe a woman can do this, a man should not do this, a girl should do this, a girl child should not do this. So there are people who want to study engineering, for example, who are girls, but then a girl cannot be an engineer. You cannot become an engineer because of the mere fact that you are born female. So in society, back in the villages that we are really fighting for right now to bring them at the same level to where some of us are, we are fighting so hard that we all get the same rights, the same opportunities as girls and boys, because we get limited because it's not our fault that we're born women, it's not their fault that they're born men. But then a man has not died because he has swapped a compound. Completely no. A woman cannot die because she took cattle for riding, for grazing. So people have really experienced this. They get limited. You girl, you're not going to school because you're merely a girl. It's not your fault that you're born a girl child, and that does not harm you in any way. So outside there are people who are really facing this. Girls are being stopped from going to school. Women are not supposed to work. You're supposed to just produce in the house. You're supposed to do this. You can see Honorable Ambassador is all here, and she is a very big example to the women out there of her age that limited themselves or that tolerated whatever thing they were being given to. So there are people outside there, and that's why we're here today in the future to fight for them.
Yeah, it's interesting, really. So there is also this feeling, like the dimensions of how we live our lives. Sometimes we so much lack conversation. Yes. I could call it intergenerational conversation.
Yeah. Very true.
So for us, the young people, like Haboban, we could say, they don't live the life.
They shout a lot. They don't want us to do what we want.
It's a .com word. That's what we commonly use. So I wanted this question, sir, for both of you, because all of us in this room now are diplomats. So I don't know if there's a way we can bridge conversation and how we can impact, like the elderly diplomats like Mama Sitona, and then Ayen.
Yes.
Do you see a sense like intergenerational conversation can also raise us, and how is that like?
Okay. Before you answer that, I want to add up, because like in our now generation, the youth are not tending to listen to the elderly, and the elderly have that thing, like they have close mind. They don't want to listen to us. They don't want to do what we are telling them to do. But now, since you two are from different generations, now how can we match those?
Each other now.
So I want a comment from her and as well a comment from you.
Oh, okay. To me, I really support intergenerational dialogue or conversation. It is very important because we did not just come out of the blue. I wasn't born the way I am today. I grew up, and without someone that is older than me by my age, I don't think I would be who I am today. We get shaped through our elders, through listening to their stories, and her story can be a lesson to me that I can fix my life. Things that she faced as a challenge could be what I can correct today. Yeah. So it is very important to have a conversation or a dialogue with your elders, with your middle age, with your the same age, such that you are able to know exactly where you're heading to. What was the mistake my grandmother did? What was the mistake my mother did? What did she do best that I need to carry on? What legacy do I have to maintain? So it is very important to have this conversation as different age groups. Yeah.
Thank you really for this question. I really admire it and I like it because I have a youth like you and always they're shouting on me when I give when I give some ideas. You know, because as mothers also, before you became even a politician or you go to the global issues, you know, you will always feel that you don't want the younger one to go the way you went because your way is difficult and hard. So because of that, when you give them, you want them to take from you from that point so they can go ahead faster. But for the youth or the young, they think, no, why did you have to give us your experience? Let me go and hit myself on the wall and come this way, that way, so I can come and after that bring what I want. This is an issue, really, and it is difficult. Of course, you know, even during the movement, we have young girls who are really, we are mentor them. And now, you know, they are with me, diplomat. They are there. And we always chat together. But even on the street, we mentor other people. So mentoring is very important to bridge the gap. Communication is very important. Education is very important. So there is many things, you know, we have to do it together. And that one, it will make the way easy for them, even for our youth. But when our youth, they close their mind, I say, no, let me have my way. And that is all the time my children tell me that. You know, one day we are in the car with my daughter because we always go in one car to the work. So she's talking to her people at work. Say, no, do this, do that, no, do this. So I said, no, Baboya, please, let him go and take the car from that place and do this. She said, oh, come out of my work. Do your own work. Mind your own business, not do your own work. Mind your own business. This is my business. Come out of my business. Yeah. And I was giving her very good advice, but she didn't listen. Yes. Yeah. So the youth also, they need to listen really to their elders, because the elders really, they have some wisdom. So the wisdom also, it has to be at least, you know, inherited, not only every time you get it by yourself. Yeah.
Just in addition to what we talked about, for instance, someone will just challenge me, Ayen, your husband to be in the future, how many wives will he have? Of course, only me. Why would I have a second one or a third one after me? Why would I even be a second wife? That's from me. Yeah. Then an elder will be like, but if your dad didn't have more than two, would you be there? Yes. I'm like, that's why this is my mother, and that's why that's my dad, and that's why I have a different name. Yeah. So these are two different people, these are two different groups of people. Yeah. But then, if we really do that, from where this, from our family backgrounds where we come from, or our culture, we really get to know that we are killing our culture slowly because of the perceptions and the mindset we have for modernity. Yeah, so this is also something that we really need to listen to them, like she said. Yeah.
And I think for me, like, culture was made by people.
Yes, that's right.
And it can be changed by the people.
Very true.
Exactly. So, like,
it will be wiped.
Yeah, it's really wiped. For Ambassador, you sent a path to many fields. What are the top diplomat, like 3 advice that you give to Ayen at this moment, and the sort of Ayens outside there?
Yeah, including the Ayens in here.
So how many Ayens you are?
There are 4.
4 Ayens? Oh my God.
6 for the male diplomat.
Also he's Ayen? Okay, yeah. So, thank you, really. And the things really as a diplomat we have to do, that we have one thing that we have to do, that always we have to co-up with the situation. So it means co-up, it means you have to read, you have always to get a new knowledge, you have to be engaged, to network, to get experience also from others. Because there is many diplomatic books and many ambassadors who wrote many books about diplomacy and in the field of diplomacy. So if we really engage ourselves on those books, you will get yourself really doing right things on your field. Another things, and the second thing is that engagement. You have to be engaged. Commitment. You have to be committed. You know, and one of the things that behavior. You have to change your mental set. You have to change your own behavior, because that one, it will reflect whatever behavior you're coming with it from outside. If you don't follow the behavior, because the diplomacy, they have their own behavior. If you don't follow that diplomatic behavior, you will be outside of that circle. So because of that, this is also one thing you have really to put it on your head. The second thing that is, the third thing actually I can talk about, that is norms. The diplomatic relation have a norms. It is all of us, we're working with Vienna Convention. You read Vienna Convention. In Vienna Convention, there is a lot of norms. You have to adapt it. And if you are not adapted, when you go even abroad, you become an ambassador. For instance, you go to national days, to reception. If you don't have that behavior, you will be out of that circle also. Thank you.
And then for Ayen, when Fijana Saraya Hinaka, she's listening to you and she got that courage. I want to be like Ayen. What are the advice you can give to her?
Thank you so much once more. Based on gender, I do not know if we all know in this room the theme for International Women's Day 2023. It was simply digital innovation and technology for gender equality. One, I want every youth there to support gender equality, because with gender equality, South Sudan can be a very different and evolved country. South Sudan can be way better than and can be equivalent to any other country. So I say that we should support gender equality. I also want every youth out there to avoid hate speech and poor use of social media, but rather use their social media positively, because with this social media, there are a lot of things that you can get. You can change your life through social media. It's not all about posting and commenting plus sharing memes. It's not that completely. So let's use our social media positively. Let's go to pages, go to the AU page, go to the EAC page. You'll find jobs there. They advertise them, but we don't use them. There we complain, oh, people are unemployed. You're not only limited to working in South Sudan. You can work out there. You can have access. Our country, we are now eye-openers to others. So it is very important we use them positively. I would also say that we also need to reduce, if we cannot eliminate completely the gender-based violence, we need to remove it, because this is another big issue. For instance, girls are being killed for rejecting a man commented by their family or said that you must get married to this man. So it is very important we eliminate them. Let's also be adaptive. The situation is never the same. Each year, each time, each month, we are going to have different things. For instance, the dollar crisis in South Sudan. We are facing dollar issue. Our money is becoming worthless each day. It's losing to dollar, but we also need to adapt to it. It is nothing we can do. It's beyond our control, but that doesn't mean that we should sleep inside. Anati says that if you want to chop, you must hustle. Youth, let's wake up and hustle.
Wow.
Yes. Add one thing here on what she really said, and you said it rightly. I just want to put a statistic on that. Like, for instance, you talked about gender equality. We have 143 countries. In the UN, we have 195 countries. But 143 countries from the UN, they have in their constitution equality between men and women, gender equality. Because gender is men and women. As you said before, gender, they think that when you say gender, it means woman. No. But gender equality. And for 52 is still they are working on their constitution to put gender equality in the constitution. So if we got the 195 constitution talking about gender equality, we are really on a safe hands. Now, for the women, as you asked in the beginning, as a negotiator, you know, we have 13% of the women who have really in the UN made a negotiation and they win the negotiation. And we have like 60% of them also they are moderators. But there is 60% who have really made a signatory to the peace process in all this negotiation. So just I want to put it for you in quantity so you can understand where we are.
If I was young, I would have said I want to go back to school and study this, but at least my sister is here.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't done. I was adding on the points earlier. So in addition to promotion of gender equality, eliminating gender-based violence, I also want to promote, if you really get a chance to go to school, go to school, because that's one weapon no one will ever take from you. I can get married and divorce that man tomorrow, but my papers will never divorce me unless I become insane or delusional. So we all need to go to school if you get the chance to. Also, only we can all learn. Only death can do us apart with learning, because even if you're old, you can still learn something new. So we also need to learn. We need to read, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have like about 8 minutes to go, but the conversation is getting sweeter. Yeah, thank you so much, Sister Ayen, for that. I want to go back to my mother. It's always our scenario, especially in South Sudan and maybe other countries, that women lack space. You know, space where you can share freely, you can engage, you can connect with other women. You know, you can express yourself, because sometimes also our societies, you know, determine how much we can express ourselves as women, especially as young women, as young girls. So I wanted to know how we can create space. How do we create space for women diplomats within the government?
Because even on the street, people are still complaining like the 35% and
it's not met
on ground here.
Yeah, that is true. And that is what we have to say, that we have to have a guard and monitoring people who will really guard whatever laws come out and to monitor those laws. To create a space, it is not difficult to create a space, but need people who are really come out and create a space for others. And that is what during the movement we do. We create our own space, and we network with our own people whom we really know, and because of that, we talk about gender. We have the network with all the Horn of Africa's countries. During the movement, we call it H.E Strategic Initiative in Horn of Africa. So, you know, for us, we have to go and pitch, because as you said, if you don't go outside and pitch, you will never get a space. If you, even inside Juba here, if you want to go and pitch inside Juba, you can create your own space. For us as a women, we are creating our own space sometimes because we have somebody who initiate. So you need people who are really initiator. So like for her, she's initiating now herself to educate the youth, to go on the website to look for a job if you want. There is and that is what always I say to my children. Please, all of you, you go and you look into the website, you will get a lot of job. Don't tell me I came from Canada to come here and I didn't get a job. No, create your own job. You will get it. You will, you know, when you are looking for a job, you have to sit 24 hours on your seat to look for a job. It is not an easy, just I say, today I come, tomorrow I get the job. No, no. Looking for a job is also a job. So you have to look into that.
I love that.
Yeah, really. Looking for a job is also a job. Yeah, true. And after that, you know, our people also, to get in a space, for instance, we create a space for reading. Because we don't read. We don't look into, we are, most of us, our mind is set for politics. Just who have done what and why he didn't do it for me. It is not about you. We are working for our country. We are not working for you alone. So we are not bothering ourselves I work there in the office. I work for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs because I work for the Republic of South Sudan. You are individual in that. If got on your way, it is okay. If it doesn't go on your way, it is your problem. But I am working for you. But you cannot think that I have to, all the president, all the ministers, all the parliamentarians, it has to work for you and you are sitting. No, please, shouting, mungling, and doing kuchena and doing that, and you, no, and you want to, no, we want to advance our country. If we don't want to advance our country, get your space. Look into your inner self. See what you are good in. And try, even not for yourself, even to give it to other people. Sometimes people, they said, I don't have a business. Why you don't have a business? Because you don't have a business plan. You don't have a business initiative. It is not in your head. Why did you want to have a business? Think about it by yourself. Sit with yourself. Put it on the paper. Think about it. How do you want to deal with it? Make your plan. Make your steps, your priority. And after that, go for it. You will succeed.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Sidonia, for coming by Advance It Radio today, and as well to Ayen. What will be that last message you want to lay to everybody who's been listening and as well been watching you from the hour of 4?
Okay, out there, I want everyone that has been watching or hearing or will get a message from a friend to not only sit in the house because South Sudan has no jobs, but rather take advantage of an opportunity we get. Laziness is a very big thing we are all facing here. Everyone, you just want to sit back and you think that food will come to your table that way. It won't happen that way. So let's have business plans like Honorable said. Let us look. Why, if I failed from this side, what is the plan B? I know, yes, things are really difficult out there, but not every job needs certificates. People refuse tulba. They call it tulba, right? Yes. South Sudan is a developing country. There are a lot of opportunities for this building. I don't know how I should call them, but then these people that carry bricks, people, the workers, yeah, this the labor, yeah, the labor. So that thing does not need you to have a degree or a diploma or anything. So I want everyone, instead of drinking, for instance, or just sleeping on the in the house and waiting for something to be put to your table, you can do it yourself, and best you can do it best. Yeah.
Yeah. At least something that we will dwell on, the last message, especially for young people, young women, young girls.
Yeah, please, young girls, young women, young boys, please, the life is not a joke. The life cannot wait for you because every day is added to your age. Please get to your wisdom quickly. Don't wait and say, no, I have to go for that disco, for that drinking, for that today shot, I have to go with my friend. No, the life is not like that. Please, when you come out, think about the way, even if you cannot think about your father or mother, think about who are your friends successful. Who is a successful friend of yours and why he became successful, and you are also still on the bar, hold 24 hours. There is some people who are sitting in the bar for 24 hours. Why? And you have a food on your table in the house, but you don't come back to your food. You stay there because that is where it suits you to laugh and joke, and the life is going. The life is too short. Please, and the country waiting for you. The country cannot be developed if you are not part of it. Be part of it so you can really, now you talk with a loud voice. We made it. We made South Sudan. It is not just about liberation. Liberation is the liberation of mind. Liberate your mind. Think positively. Think better way, not just jokali, please.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Sidonia, and as well Ayen, for passing by Advance It Radio. Not to forget our Monica D. Thank you for the vocal.
Yes.
And to the listeners and the viewers, we are signing out.